Hi, everybody. Happy Halloween. Happy Friday. But I gotta say, I can't wait for November, and I have a reason for that. November sweeps are coming. They usually last all month, and they're not gonna disappoint. Now, I should have thought about this before, but they're gonna reveal the new Noah next week because probably his contract starts on November 1st, but it's a Saturday, so they don't have soap operas on a Saturday, so that's why. Okay. And I kind of thought that, but I just didn't think about it when I was doing all the videos before. Um, okay. So because it's Halloween, of course we have a theme here. But they didn't hit you over the head with it, which is cool because yeah, Harrison was really cute in his costume, and Kyle played along with it. And then Claire was supposed to be the other part, but Claire's still in LA or a fake LA or whatever. I don't know. So okay, then I'm gonna kind of wind around, so you're gonna have to follow me here. Okay, so we have two storylines going on, kind of simultaneously. We have the Halloween element, like I said, where all the kids, Lucy, Johnny, Katie, all the people we don't see on screen anymore, along with Harrison, went to this place called Walnut Grove, go figure, and for this big party. And yeah, so we had that element, the cuteness element of him, you know. And then we had another party, although it was more adult in nature because it was at the nightclub that Sienna McCall owns. So once again, we see Tamara Braun, and I gotta say, even though she's being devious at the time, she is really killing it because, yeah, I mean, you can see how she's been an actor for decades. Um, And for anybody who doesn't know, which you should know by now, she portrayed the second version of Carly after Sarah Joy Brown, just to give you some context. But of course, we all know Carly is on GH. So, um, okay. So then, okay, we're at the nightclub, and Claire is having fun. And I got to talk about wardrobe today. I usually don't, but I'm gonna have a section about wardrobe just because. Um, her wardrobe was on point, man. She looked hot, okay, and I'm a girl, okay. I was like, wow. Her hair was wavy, but like you can tell they did it, and she just looked like she was having fun, which is cool because I needed personally I needed Claire's character to come out of her shell because from the beginning she was sheltered and the whole thing and prim and proper and the way she dressed and everything, which is she was still good, but it was like I need to like shake her up, you know. Well, finally I got my wish because yeah, her outfit was like wow. And then uh, Nathan Owens, who plays Holden, was right there with her for that outfit. So it was really cool. Um, so yeah. And then Sienna, you can tell Sienna and Holden have a past. Okay, they know each other from way back. And also, we get a little bit of insight that Kyle was asking about his past and everything. But Sienna protected him and said, they'll never know what happened between Audra and you as long as I can help it. So, once again, that goes into the whole thing about, you know, that Audra has more of a past than we thought. And I always said that because I said, why would they introduce somebody and not tell you anything about their backstory except for that she didn't have a good relationship with her family, something like that, which is why she held on to Amy so hard when they became friends, because she met Nate's mother, Amy, and they became like inseparable. Uh, and I was thinking that's weird. And then I found out that she didn't have a good relationship with her family, so then it made more sense. But apparently she has more of a past than we'll know until whenever. Which I say it's upcoming, but I don't know when. So, okay. So, um, Claire is dancing around, really having a good time. And then her phone like dings from a text message, and it's because Harrison convinced Kyle to take a picture together and send it to Claire. And so, right after they take it, then he sends it, and you hear the ding, but her phone is like off to the side, so she doesn't see it right away. And she's having too much fun that she's not concerned about it. And it doesn't mean she doesn't care about Harrison. And I think she still cares about Kyle. However, every time she tries to get away from him, like thinking about him, he always inserts himself in her thoughts anyway because he's always trying to protect her, which is cool. Okay, the thought of it is cool. The way he's going about it, the methodology is bad because it's like he's checking up on her like she's a little girl. And once again, like I said before, yesterday, okay, you have to have trust. And she can read it as he doesn't trust her. So um, then Holden and Claire are dancing. And then so she asked, what does Sienna want to talk to you about? And then he says that Kyle is checking up on him. And she says, oh, Kyle, again, like, I wish he would just leave me alone, you know? And I'm like, okay, she's over him. Because I gotta say, women, um, we have a way to deal with people, okay? When we like you and we wanna, like, fix it, that's when we're angry. And we like ask you questions and might nag you and you might perceive it as nagging, but it's because we care. When you well, also there's another layer to it. Okay, when we tell you what we want and you don't believe us and you second guess us and you go around what we said, we don't like that. That pisses us off. And then that makes us want to like separate and not have anything to do with you. And then that's when we move on with whatever. Which, okay, my moment of the day, I was so happy. I've never been so happy for a storyline in my life. Okay, so Sharon decides that she's going to go from the hospital at her son's bedside to a noisy club. Number one, she did not fit in the least. Okay. Number two, she wasn't even dressed up because it was supposed to be a costume party. Okay. She didn't have anything on. That was like she's dressed up as anything. So it's just really weird. And then she's like talking to Claire a little bit, but then she was like worried about Claire because she felt like she was drunk. I don't know. Because she did forget a word here and there, but it wasn't that bad. She was just having fun. But she was like, be careful, be safe. I'm like, okay, whatever. Okay, so then they're having a conversation. Sienna and Sharon are having a conversation. And then Claire kisses Holden. And I mean, she kisses him like she means it. Okay? And I'm like, yes! She finally moved on. Thank you, God. She moved on. I'm sorry. Okay. To Michael Mueller, I love you. I respect you. All the things. But I am so glad Claire moved on because I was like in the back of my head going, please move on. Please, 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 please. So when she did that, I'm like, woohoo! And then it gets even better because she wants to leave and they get really close, and I'm like, okay, she's really gonna move on. So okay, they show them going into the hotel room, whatever, and it wasn't anything. Okay, it's not like that, but I'm like, okay, she's really gonna move on. And then Holden, being a nice guy, he says, "Are you sure you want to do this?" Which is cool, you know. And then she arrives back with like in her under stuff. Okay. And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, does this answer your question? And I'm like, what? So, okay. So this whole thing marks the end of Claire and Kyle and the beginning of something else for Claire. Now, I've never said this before, but I I usually get a feeling about people in the first month of them acting, right? Okay, but I'm starting to learn that two things can be possible at the same time. Meaning that Holden could be a bad guy from the past, in his past, but he might be a completely different person with Claire. So those two things can be true. And it's not just because I want Claire to move on, which is true too. Okay? I'm saying that I'm trying to not judge this man based on something he might have done to somebody else in a totally different situation and trying to base him on how he's acting with Claire now in this moment. So yeah. Okay. And then of course there's gonna be fallout from Claire and Kyle. But however, and this is my last like whatever. Okay. Besides, I'm gonna give you a little small thing for next week because I did talk about it. Okay. Um. Okay. So there's gonna be he's gonna be mad because she moved on or whatever. But the important thing to remember here is they are broken up, meaning she doesn't owe anybody anything. No explanation, no nothing. So if he gets really pissed, that is not warranted. Remember that. Okay? So when the stuff comes out, remember what I said. Mhm. Okay, now for the coming up, they're gonna reveal Noah's face, and also they're gonna introduce another character, Matt. Now you might remember Matt's face because we've seen him a lot of times. Now, what's funny is I was just talking about One Life to Live yesterday a little bit, and I forgot to mention that I was talking about the face thing, revealing the face. Okay, now some of you might remember this, but there was an old Todd and a new Todd. Okay, so old Todd was Roger Howard, the same guy who's playing the Matt character now. Okay, but also he played on Dawson's Creek, One Life to Live, General Hospital. He made the rounds. Okay, but for the face thing, it turned from Roger Howard to Trevor St. John. That's how I knew him before he started on YNR. So see, it's all connected. So anyway, okay, we have that going on, and then we have I don't know. I think there's going to be something about what's going on with Jabot and all that, but they really focused on Noah's face and the reveal of the whatever. That was the main focus. So, and also integrating Matt into the storyline wherever he's going to fit. I don't know. So, all right. Bye, everybody.